What's going on, people? Welcome to the live match reaction. It is a late one or an early one, depending on where you are in the world, but we're recording live right on midnight. So, yes, yesterday, technically, where I am in the UK, but of course, people watching all over the world with Palace. Palace managed to get through to the first time in their history, the round of 16s, by beating Mostar 2-0, yes, 2-0 at home. What a result, what a performance. As always, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. And I guess a lot of you will be watching on replay because it is very late. So let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. But the link will still be posted if any of you are awake. And if you do want to call into the show and have your say on the game and more, you can do so. I will be posting the link in about a few minutes' time. I'll let you know once that's posted. Joined by Animal here. Animal, we spoke about it briefly before going live. It makes such a difference when Palace win a game. Not only a game, but as I've said, it's history. For the first time, we are going to the round of 16s in a European competition. What's your thoughts on what's happened tonight or yesterday?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I hope everyone's in their jammies like I am. Big up to the late night crew. Yeah, it was our biggest game of the season, and we showed up for it. I thought it was a way more positive result today, and we looked a lot better on the pitch and trying to break them down, and we did it well. It was good to get 2 goals because I spent the duration of the game saying we just need to put this game to bed, like put it away, and I'll feel better. And there it was, right at the end with Gesson putting it, making it 2-0. I was super happy that we buried the game.
Yeah. And let's be honest, I mean, we could have scored a few more goals, especially in the second half. The game kind of opened up a bit more as they had to go for it. So, yeah, I think it was a well-deserved victory. I think the main positive out of today, of course, is going through to the next round. If we manage to win the Conference League with terrible performances and just end up getting results and results, then that'd be great. But today isn't even that case because I don't think it was a terrible performance. It was a positive performance. Which was a change. And in a Conference League, this honestly going into the game, I thought it was the biggest game of the season, and I think you did as well for a lot of Palace fans. And now Mainz or Larnaca, we'll see who we get tomorrow. We'll probably go live to react to that. That's going to be the next biggest game of the season. It was so important to go there and get the win, and we managed to do it. And we done it in a convincing way, it felt like. I know in the first half, we didn't really create that many chances. In the second half, we did, maybe because they opened up a bit more. But, let's start off with the first half. What a great ball by Adam Wharton. I know we're going to talk about Lacroix and his header, but it was a fantastic ball. And we needed a delivery like that. With set pieces, we haven't been too great, too much, threatening. When you look at Wharton's quality, especially what he does from open play, you expect him to be more of a set piece threat. And honestly, I can't remember a delivery like that from Wharton from a set piece at all. To be fair, it's probably happened. I guess so. But yeah, it was great. But up until that set piece, what was your thoughts on the first half?
I thought we were pretty much in control of the game. It was just, it's like a drunk person fumbling around at the lock, trying to find the keyhole before you get it in and give it a twist. So, yeah, I thought we didn't really look in danger too much today of conceding. So it was all about, wearing them down, breaking them down, trying to pick that lock, trying to get in. But yeah, the free kick was beautiful. It was perfectly placed, and I'm so happy it was Max who got on the end of it as well, because he's been under fire a little bit about his finishing inside the area with his head. So I'm glad it was him, especially to come back from injury and do it.
Yeah, and as you've mentioned, I think the back three, if you're talking about the first half and the second half, but especially in the first half, it felt like they were very controlled, and it was a game basically of trying to break them down, just like it was maybe in the reverse fixture. And if we're being honest, we didn't create that many chances from open play, but at times there were a few decent deliveries into the box by Canva, and I actually do want to talk about Canva. I thought Richards, Lacroix, and Canva today were absolutely fantastic, but Canva in particular I want to mention because yes, we spoke about Lacroix with the header, but Canva's got a lot of stick. And he's got stick because he's made mistakes. He's made not only mistakes, but mistakes that have contributed to the opposition scoring goals. However, I think today we have to give the credit where credit's due. And not only today, I thought he was solid in the previous game as well against Wolves, especially after picking up the yellow card. Similar situation here. Look, we have to remember he's 19 years old. I've never written him off, but I did feel like maybe he needs a bit more time. But I think the biggest positive that I can get from Cambo is that every time he has actually made a mistake, he's improved. He's improved. And so at that age, at the age of 19, when he hasn't had that much first team experience in the first place coming to Palace, at Toulouse, yes, he had some first team experience, but he wasn't an experienced first team player. He's 19 years old. I'm just very impressed by how he reacts to his mistakes. He didn't make one today. He only picked up the booking. But throughout the season, he's had some good games, but he's also had games with mistakes in it. But it feels like he's just improving as the season's going on. And that is a massive positive.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think there's a couple of players that you could justifiably give man of the match to, but for me personally, today JD Canvo was my man of the match. He did everything really well and to a higher standard. I loved everything that he did. He was there to intercept. He was there to nick the ball off of people. He was there to tackle. Some of his passing was actually a delight to watch. It was very creative passing a lot of the time. He was brilliant today, and my personal man of the match. I want to shout that out to JD Convo because he was brilliant.
Yeah, and then in the second half, I mean, we scored a goal very late on, the second goal from Evan Gassand. But we kept majority of the ball, and we did create chances. As I said at the start of the show, it felt like Mostar was more inclined to now attack. They had to go score a goal, and that led to some very good opportunities. And we could have scored more goals. I thought Saul wasn't as clinical in not only just in front of goal and some areas of the pitch, but someone who was actually solid and is growing in terms of fans by the game, and that is Evan Gassand. Because if you're looking at the first half and the second half, yes, in the second half he got the goal, but there's just something about him that I think lacks, around the whole rest of the team in terms of someone who can actually get on the ball and be somewhat of a threat. He doesn't give me the Eze type of player profile, but not in terms of skill level, but more of like a Wilf type where you can get on the ball and maybe go past a player or two. And even in moments where in the first half, where yes, he did run past a few players here and there, but he was always somehow involved in the game, and I liked it. He was a threat. But he's growing, animal. He's growing by the game, and we saw the impact that he had against Wolves. He scored a goal today. He scored a big goal as well. The second goal, I know it was 1-0 and the game was about to end, but we've seen it. We've conceded last-minute goals at Palace so far this season that just buried the game. But talk to me about Evan Gassand. I mean, he's here on loan, but do you agree with what I'm saying in terms of he's a different type of profile, especially on the left-hand side, which we've been lacking all season?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Evan Gassand is somebody that fits the Palace mold a lot better than he probably fits the Villa mold, and that's probably the reason for a start for this loan transfer in the first place. I thought there were a few heavy touches today when his passing could have been a little bit neater, and that's a little bit of polish maybe that he needs to bring to his game. But other than that, it's really good to have somebody who can find space, create space, and also be in the right place at the right time and give a nice little ball off and create assists for the team. He's a really good player and a great asset to that left side.
Yeah, it feels like that left-hand side now going forward is going to be Evan Gassand's to maybe lose. Am I right in saying that? Because you look at the Wolves' impact, he had an impact there and he earned the right to start this game. Not only that game, he's had impacts anyways before the Wolves goal that he scored, which was fantastic and massive relief. Now he scores once again. He looks positive on the pitch. It sounds maybe unfortunate for Pino, but Pino needs to own a spot down the left-hand side because Pino's had moments. I don't think he's been absolutely terrible, but he's had games. He's just way too inconsistent right now. But he's got real competition, and that is good. I like that because it might not be ideal for Pino, who might not get as many game time. But now he's got someone there, and he needs to push himself. He needs to learn. Maybe sitting, as we've said before, coming off the bench, it could be a positive today. He didn't. Brendan Johnson did, which we'll talk about him because he got an assist as well, but. It's nice to see that the attacking options that we have are genuine options because before this window, the January window, it felt like, cool, you might have like a Devaney who can play like a number 10 when he's not number 10, but we didn't have any players that can make a major impact. But today you see Brennan Johnson came off the bench. No, he didn't do much, but he still got an assist. Like he had that one moment, he still got that assist, for example. So it's nice to have players that you can actually look on the bench and say, you know what, Johnson, you come on, or Pino, maybe you come on, and have competition and actually quality depth. And that's what I've been screaming out for with Palace for years. For example, you know, there's certain, I feel like at times we can go cheap on players. I know sometimes yes, you need squad players and go for cheaper options to add up numbers, but the bench is looking healthy. It's looking healthy for the good reasons rather than just having numbers there for the sake of it.
Yeah, quickly on Pino, you know, from his performance in the last game against Wolves, I was personally disappointed by it. I think, and I think he seems to be a player that's in his own head at the moment. You know, he doesn't seem to be doing much right in that last game, and you know we know Pino is a player that gets frustrated, so I think he needs a bit of a spell on the sideline to sort of soak the games up and maybe come on as an impact substitution. Brennan Johnson getting his first assist today was, I think, it was really important for him, and I think that's a big thing for him, and I want to shout that out to Johnson as well. I thought it was really cool and calm heads in a moment that could have really easily petered out through the pressure that we were under. So really important goal there. You know, Brendan Johnson did really well to give it back to Gesson and Gesson to find the finish. I thought it was smart and cool.
Yeah, and then there was a moment as well where maybe Sarr could have put Johnson through. I think it was near the back post. There was a moment in the second half, so he made the right runs, and he was a bit more involved in the game. Of course, look, the context is we faced Mostar. We didn't face Man City. That's thriving. We did face Mostar, but we have been struggling against sides like this. And we'll talk about who we want next in terms of Larnaca or Mainz in a round of 16. But today at home, you know, when we have faced all types of sides at Selhurst Park so far this season, it's been a struggle. We haven't got as many wins, nowhere near as many wins as we should have. And you know, going into the United game, confidence and momentum is a key element, because I felt like after the Brighton game, going into the Burnley game, you know what, maybe we can build on something, and then it all collapsed. But we got that last minute winner against Wolves. Now you come and have a positive performance, another clean sheet at home against Mostar. It makes me, you know, wonder what could happen against United, because if we can even get a draw against United, that's like 3 games now undefeated, maybe 4 if you include the Mostar reverse fixture as well. And Selhurst was rocking today. You can tell I wasn't there because I'm working. And Selhurst was rocking today, and we just need a positive feel good factor, and today could be it. I don't want to get too carried away, but it could be it, because we've gone to the round of 16 for the first time. And it seems like the players were all like buzzing after the game. The fans were as well. I know there was a banner about the price, but this game holds a lot of significance for the rest of the season potentially. I don't want to get too carried away, but potentially we'll see how the players react against Man United.
Yeah, and coming up against Manchester United as well, who are in a rich vein of form ever since Carrick has taken over, and not to get a result out of the game doesn't mean that we shouldn't be riding the momentum still of playing really positively today. Because I thought the difference between this game and the last few games has been night and day. I think the players have approached this game more positively. The passing was a lot sharper, and that was what I really wanted to see. So there's definite positives that we can bring with us despite what result we get against United.
Yeah. Let's bring on some of the guests. Some people are still awake. We're not the only ones. But if you do want to call in, you can join us by clicking on the pinned comment in the comment section down below, to join us this morning or evening or wherever you are. Let's say I know someone who is definitely evening, not morning, and that's Tim. Let's bring on Tim. Tim, how you doing, man?
I'm great, man. How
Probably weird for you to do a reaction at this time. I guess you've never pretty much done it.
I mean, it's fine, man. I'll be dinner time after this.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's normal time for you. There's normal time.
Yeah,
for you,
I know. It's very weird. It's usually like I'm having I've already long passed. If I had coffee now, I ain't sleeping. So
yeah.
You can't be doing that.
Yeah.
No,
2-0 win. We're through to the round of 16, and it's a relief. It's a relief more than anything.
It's such a relief. I mean, that is the thing. It is a real relief. I'm going to read you a quote, which I think just sort of sums up what this game reflects. It was just a different mood everything settled down. And this is Glasner after the match. I think I may have been talking to Sky, said, maybe I gave some interviews that were maybe not that helpful. I have to admit. Like, you think? I'm glad you're willing to admit that. I think you are correct about that. But yeah, a much more, that quote reflects a performance that was not so. I mean, I was nervous. I'm not going to lie. I was nervous, but I did not see the same level of nerves on the pitch tonight that we have seen. We have seen this team get rattled way too easily in recent months. That did not happen today. There was a lot more control. And I totally agree with you, Animal. Big up to JD Canbo, because he could have gotten rattled. He gets his yellow, I think, on 13 minutes, and he was outstanding. After that yellow, he has several instances. There's one I'm remembering a little bit later in the game where he has a player driving on him, trying to get around the end, get into the area. And JD just, without being too bothered, just sort of moves him off the ball, and then just dispossesses him. It was a very, very good performance by a kid that sometimes looks like he's 19, and sometimes he looks like the player that we bought for about 20 million pounds, who is going to be part of the future of this club. Boy, did he look like it tonight. He looked outstanding. So I think
I saw a little bit of mark in him today.
Yeah. I mean, the passes were there, weren't they? I mean, they gave it to him a lot. And it was interesting too. Did you notice this? Early in the game, part of the Larnaca, why am I saying Larnaca? Mostar.
Maybe that's a sign for tomorrow.
I don't know. Well, I'll come on to that, because what I don't want to say I want them, but I would like to. I wouldn't mind if we had the chance to exercise the demons of that loss at Selhurst. But I'm not, all hung up on that. But early on in that match, the press trigger did appear to be, for Mostar, I'm saying, pressing in the channels, the center backs, but they're not pressing Richards. But they did come on, and they came right after Canvo early. They got the yellow, and then he settled in, and that stopped. He made them stop with his performance, and I thought that was telling. But yeah, a word on Guesson. I thought he was terrific. Let's not forget that he, particularly in the first half, he makes the run with the ball. He was the rare player. Sarr did it too, but it was Guesson. He would take the ball and try to drive past a player, and he did it a few times, either attempted or did get past a player. He gets past a player and wins the foul that buys the free kick that gets the goal. And that is what we need. That we have been crying out for that. So it was great. It was a fantastic performance. I'm very happy for Brennan Johnson too. I agree with you, D. I thought he was showing a bit more intelligence, I guess I would say, once he came on. He's making the right runs in the right positions and trying to get where he can score. Thank God. That was good. If there's a player that I thought struggled, which was a little bit disappointing, for about 70 minutes, Ty did not have his best game. He was good defensively like he always did, but he was not offering much going forward. But about 60th, 70th minute, so all of a sudden, after the goal goes in, he starts taking on players. I don't know what it is. I don't know why Ty.
Maybe the space opened up for him to operate a bit more as the game was going longer. Then there was more space in, and I think that's why we created a few more chances, and not just chances, clear-cut chances, because they were willing to attack a bit more rather than staying back.
Yeah,
because when we let the goal in, When we let the goal, when we scored our first goal, that was it. They had to bring the game to us,
Yeah.
and try and get the goal. So opened up a bit more space, I think.
Yeah. I mean, but it was just funny to see it. Him finally taking on some players. That's probably right. Like, because they did.
I did think he had a very good game defensively, though.
He did. Well, that's the thing about Ty, isn't it? Like, he is always brilliant defensively, and he was outstanding again defensively. He just struggled a bit to get forward. But to be fair, the whole team struggled against Mostar playing deep. So it's not like he was the only one. They all struggled a bit, but you could see what a difference it makes when we get the ball into Gesson and he's willing to take a player on. That man.
And maybe it's an eye opener for the recruitment team for next season, because
I hope
it's as much as Gasson's done it in this game, and hopefully he continues on future games as well. But it's a shame that we only have one player, and that's Gasson right now in this team. There isn't many players that are willing to take on players as it did tonight. So yeah, we are lacking. And one thing about Palace, we've always had that profile. We've not only one, we've always had a quality profile where we would have someone who's willing to take on players. So I think we've been desperately missing that. But do you think does it make a difference if Gasson plays maybe a Conference League game versus a Premier League game? Do you stick with him in both competitions, or do you think you would rotate between him and Pino depending on who we're facing?
I would be open to rotating, just because I don't want to burn these players out. But having said that, and I see I'm getting a little bit of stick. Ty was decent. I'm not saying he wasn't decent, and he does that. Red makes a great point about the cross. He makes a great cross that does gets wasted, unfortunately.
That cross was the sort of the first decent attempt at a cross, I thought, from Ty, though. So I think it's from an attacking sense we're talking about. Ty wasn't really maybe up to his usual standard. It was defensively, he was brilliant.
Yeah, but he's later on in the game, as he starts taking on players, it was outstanding. But to your point, D, he is reminding me that at the beginning of last season, Ismail Yassar was an impact sub, and then he just did so well, and he just kept having so much impact that he started winning starts, and now we can't imagine anybody else starting on that right side. I think it is likely that if Gesson keeps going like this, you could see a similar story playing out. So I think you are right that hopefully this means that Pino ups his game a bit. I hope that's right. It was interesting to see Sarr play up top after Strand Larson goes off. But I mean, I don't know. I think Gesson is an impact player here. It's just the thing that is important for me is that he offers something very different. Everybody else is such a direct player. Gesson is big, physical, and good with the ball at his feet, and willing to take on a player. And that's a different profile. And that's our FA Cup winning team had a very direct player on the right in Ismail Yassar, and had a very tricky player on the left in Ebery Chiesa.
It adds balance. And this one is this front three has been missing balance, I think, in my opinion, all season. It's been
exactly
missing
right.
That.
Exactly right. So you could see that being him in the first choice 11 to offer that balance. Well, let's see. I mean, I hope so. I've been really pleased with what we've seen from him so far. One other thing, I thought Wharton was terrific for about 60 minutes. I'm not sure, like, once he gets his yellow, and is he letting, like, is it getting in his head? Does he get too frustrated? Because I thought that sub for Yuzi was right. I thought the manager saw what was going on there, and I think he looked disappointed to come off. He didn't look happy about it, which I appreciate. I like that, but I thought it was the right sub. Like he was great. He was
it's the right sub. I
early in
mean,
the
if you look at recent history with Wharton, I thought he was very silly when he got that red card. He was at home. He was against.
More than anything, it's probably just to protect him as well, because
right.
we know that he's a player that can get frustrated in a game.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
He puts a lot of
how it
pressure on
looks, right?
himself to play really well.
Yeah.
And,
He can lose
Hughes
his head.
he came on to.
Yeah,
Hughes
he
really added something when he came on, and he freed up Kamada, and Kamada was terrific. Like just to work for Daichi. Daichi was good today. Daichi, and it's been nice to have Daichi back.
It makes a massive difference because Kamada hasn't been, since coming back from injury, hasn't been on his usual level, and we've been saying maybe he just needs some few games to come up, back to speed. And if Kamada plays well, I think we play well. Of course, in the Premier League it's different because not everyone's going to sit back, so maybe he can have even more of an impact because there'll be more space for him to operate in and even place running behind on with his passes. So I think it was a positive sign today, and I think, as I mentioned in Premier League, that I think it will only go and get better when teams are attacking us. But if you're looking at this Palace team, I mean, going into this game and for the past few months now, a couple months at least, form hasn't been great, mood hasn't been great. How important is it now to carry this on to Man United in the Premier League, and hopefully, build a bit more confidence and momentum?
I think it's massive. I don't think you need a result, but I do think you need a controlled performance, and you can show your quality. It'd be great to get at least a point, but I have not seen, until really tonight, a persistent idea of football without, us getting nervous and sort of falling apart at certain points during the game. This is the first time I've seen that, and consistency throughout 90 minutes. I need that again. I think that is really important. So if the manager can settle down, if the players can settle down and just okay, we're a good team. Let's go put in a performance here and see what we can get out of this. I really think you could, if we see that, D, on Sunday, just confidence, a bit of bite, bit of, good patterns, not a team that's coming in nervous, ready to go at it. That's what you hope for, building on a performance like this.
Yeah, I think we're safe now. Not I think we are safe now. I don't. Yeah, I'm not worried about relegation.
I want another win before I'm willing to say that, but I hear you.
Yeah, and for that reason, if you look at recent history as well with Conference League winners, I remember West Ham when they won it in that year. They just stayed up. They were struggling in the league, but they still managed to get through Conference League games. I'm saying this now, I'll probably be pissed off because how much I love this club. But, if we lose on Sunday, I don't think I'm going to lose my head. I'm not going to be too upset because the Conference League is really what I want us to go for. Do you get it? So, but they're professionals. They're not going to think like that. They shouldn't think like that. They're still going to go for the United game. They're going to go for all the league games as well. But for me, after the Wolves win, I expect us to get a draw and a result here, and I don't expect us to lose all of our league games. So I'm a bit more confident and calm about what happens in the league. So worst case scenario, we lose against United. The Conference League is really all I care about because in the league we're 3 points off 8th. So if we go and win the Conference League, then you get European spots anyways. Do you get it? So you get more money if you finish higher up the Premier League table. But you're going to get
into the Europa League, it'll be massive.
Yeah, we'll get the same outcome unless you're telling me we're going to Champions League run, which is not going to happen. I don't think we're going to get that many wins in the league to go that far up the table. So for me, if you get a draw here and there, and most importantly, treat every Conference League game like a Champions League final. That's all I care about. Just go and win this damn Conference League because now I think we're fine in the league. So let's see what happens.
Just quickly, a message came up a little while ago by a Zrinjski fan. I just want to know if he's still in here and just say, look, we probably thought we were going to beat you really easily, and you gave us a really tough time, and you got us worried. And you can be proud of your performance out there. If there are any Zrinjski fans watching us at the moment, well done to you guys. You should be proud.
Yeah,
Yeah. They were good. They were good. They, if you're looking at the resources that they have compared to us, it's night and day, if we're being honest, and they still managed to give us a good tie, both first leg and second leg. It wasn't easy to go past them. So yeah.
I agree. And you know what? I mean, we'll see what comes up on Sunday. It'll be interesting to look at, but Tim Fubar has this, I think, exactly right. They are going to come at us. Man United is going to come at us, and they're going to come at us hard. And that favors this team. So that's our game. So I hope that we're up for it. And as long as we're up for it and we put in a performance, hey, fair enough. I can live with that. I can back this team in that kind of environment. But I'm going to let you guys go, man. It's late. You guys are heroes, man. I don't even know what you're doing.
Later for Animal than me, by the way. Animal is like half one.
He's crazy, man. This way he's living up to his name.
Half 12 in the morning, yeah.
I'm ready for bed. I'm ready.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Up the palace. Let's go. See you later.
Tim and I will be doing the watch along on Sunday for the United game. So yeah, I'll be hopefully calm for that. With emotion not high because we're through to the round of 16. That's what that matters. That's been bugging me all along. Let's ring on that next. But before we do, if you are enjoying the stream, please do hit the like button and subscribe if you do want to see more Palace content. It helps us out massively. Every like does help boost the algorithm, and yeah, we're on a road to 8K, 9K, and then eventually 10K. So thanks to every single one of you that's done that already. Let's ring on Nat. 2-0 win. Finally managed to get through to the round of 16s. There was a bit of concern, a little bit of a nervy atmosphere going into the game with all the noise and the performance from Wolves, but got the job done. Goal in the first half, goal in the second half, 3-1 in aggregate, and we're through. What was your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, that's the most important thing, is just to get through, isn't it? The game itself is the same as we've been playing recently. I think, there were some good play from the players there, and they showed what talent they should be having throughout the season rather than what we've kind of seen. But yeah, good game for us. And the most important thing is we're through.
Yeah, exactly. We are through, and there were some positive performances though. For me, the players that stood out were Cambo, Gassand, Kamada, Wharton. I think Larson was even bad as well. There was no bad performances, anyways. But in terms of standout performances, but for you, any players in particular that you want to focus on?
Yeah, look, you've already said Cambo, obviously. I thought Max played well. Thought Chris is quite good. So the whole defence there, you've already mentioned Tyrick Mitchell and what he does defensively anyway. So Daniel Munoz didn't look like he's been looking since he's been back. He's actually played quite well defensively as well. So no real. Gussand stand out for me and would be man of the match, but no real standouts. Just very good all round, and a team performance, I would say, as well, which is important.
What do you reckon with the centre back position now? Because Chadi Riyad is the more experienced player than Cambo, and he has been putting in decent performances. But Cambo today, I thought he held himself perfectly fine. After 30 minutes picking up a yellow card, he could have easily had moments where he go in for a rash challenge, but there was no moments like that. He was solid on the ball, solid off the ball as well, considering the yellow card. If you're Oliver Glasner, is it just a case of maybe just rotating between the two of them, or do you think Cambo deserves to start on Sunday as well, based on what he's done this evening?
Yeah, I think I said the same kind of thing when Lerma had a good performance in the Prem, and I said it's going to be based more on opponents because Chadi Riyad was doing well at the same time. So yeah, I think it's based on opponents, but also, Cambo and Riyad are both very young, and we've seen Cambo make plenty of mistakes before. So this game's obviously one of his better games, but yeah, it's going to be based on opponent, and they've just got to keep working hard because they are talented, So it's just going to be based on I think, the manager's choice per opponent.
What do you think, Animal, about those two?
I think it showed a lot of trust in Carnvo from Glasner to keep him on the pitch for the whole duration on a yellow card. I think he has shrugged off the mistakes that he's made in previous games really well, and has shown that he can really tackle the sort of pressure that comes from being a Premier League player at such a young age. I don't mind seeing him in the starting role. I think Riyadh would probably appreciate the time to really properly recover and get back to full fitness as well. So I've got every confidence in Carnvo after a performance like that today.
Yeah. Look, it's good. It's a good problem to have. You want problems like this, deciding between two of them. There's still both young players as well, got room for growth and improvement. And if you're looking beyond the season, it's good to have players like this where we're talking about two young, good centre backs, and which one would rather play? For me, I think Riyadh probably still edged it. I think today he didn't start because of the amount of games he's been playing, but it's good to have Combo improve his confidence and just bounce back every single time he makes one mistake. He has bounced back, and that's the biggest element for me. But Evan Gassan, you mentioned him. It's a bit of a positive in that regards as well, down the left-hand side, left 10, because it feels like there was more balance in the team today. It's not like we just had direct runners. I think Gassan offered something on the ball where I saw, is more of a direct player running behind. And maybe this could be the key to maybe creating more chances and being a bit more positive in front of goal and going forward.
Yeah, I think we've been asking a lot recently as well, the way we've been playing, for someone like a Wilf or Elise that can actually try and go at these defenders, and we needed it in low block games. So if Gusan's going to do that, then he's he's going to do well for us, because I think we're going to need that throughout the Conference League games. And he's not a Brendan Johnson type, and he's not a Sarr type, so it should work out that, like you say, there's a bit of balance where you have that direct and you have that dribbler and skill.
Yeah, Shran Larson, we haven't mentioned him yet. I thought he had a solid performance today. What was your thoughts on him?
Yeah, there was he's good at holding up the ball, and he showed that again today, I thought. It's a shame that he hasn't got more goals, because I'm seeing him there on the edge of the box each time when the defenders could play him through. And he's looking over and he's waving and he's trying to make those runs for the defenders or the midfielders to get the ball. And he's determined, it looks like to me. So it just comes with time. And when the players know, where he's going to be and what he wants to do, I'm sure he's going to get to the end of the ball and score some more goals. Today, not his best. I like I say, he's good at holding up the ball, and that's kind of what we needed today. So it worked.
Yeah, I don't think we really created that many opportunities in front of goal for him, to be fair. Yeah, we just need to give him better service in front of goal, because we've seen it against Burnley. When he had the service in front of goal, he ended up scoring 2 goals. So yeah, there has been that missing. But I don't know if you've heard or seen, or Mateta was at the ground today, and he's actually followed Palace back on Instagram. For those who are curious about that, so and he's going to be back according to Glasner after the Spurs game, so Tottenham game. So yeah, let's see what happens with that and what type of reaction he gets. But I don't want to talk about any negativity today. Next round.
The reason why I laugh is because it's like I've been off of social media for like 12 years. I think it's funny how it sort of it determines a lot of stuff and runs our lives a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's a bit, I don't know, it's a bit odd. I'm following Palace and then following, like, I don't really understand. I don't understand it. Yeah, let's not get into that right now, because it's a good night. So yeah, round of 16. Who would you actually want? I forgot to ask Tim. Larnaca or Mainz? I mean, to give you perspective, we've lost against both sides. Well, not. Do you include preseason? Well, Mainz again in preseason and then Larnaca in the Conference League.
I'd take Larnaca. I think Mainz are a better team, but I mean that's kind of could help us based on what we know about us playing against low blocks. But yeah, what was the score? It is the
What
same
was
team.
the score? 'Cause, yeah,
It was
I
1-0,
forgot.
wasn't it?
I mentioned it.
I think it was a Canvo mistake, and I think it was 1-0 from what
Oh,
I
you're talking about
remember.
Larnaca. Yeah, Larnaca was 1-0. Yeah, it was 1-0. We created a few chances in that game, and it was the Cambo mistake. Yeah, I believe. Was it in the second half? It was in the second half.
I don't know what the friendly score for against Mines was. I think we played 2 games against them with 2 different teams, so I
was
wouldn't
that
really be able to
4-3.
get.
4-3, but as you said, I don't know if that was the first game, second game, or
Yeah, I
combined.
wouldn't.
Yeah, and that was
Yeah, I wouldn't
pre-season.
say that.
Yeah. But yeah, as you said, I think there's positives to both teams. I think Larnaca, they might sit back a bit more, but the quality of the opposition in terms of players, there's a drop off compared to mine. So mine they may attack us a bit more, but yeah, there will be a bit more quality in their attack. So I want Larnaca personally. Animal, what about you?
Yeah, I like a good story, and Larnaca have been a really competitive team in this league, and they put one on us, and I want to get one back on them, and go through against the team that beat us earlier on. It'd be a good story.
Yeah, and then if we get that, I don't know who Mines gets in the next round, who they get, but yeah, well, I running is not going to be easy. I think if we beat whoever Larnaca Mines, I think we get Strasbourg potentially. So yeah, it's not going to be easy. But then again, if you end up beating those 3 teams, well, at least 2 of those 3 teams that I mentioned, then you should have a pretty good chance to go all the way because they are up there as well as one of the favorites in the tournament. But just quickly looking ahead to the United game, I've said it. I'm looking forward to the game. Don't get me wrong, I actually am, but I'm not like I'm I'm not going to lose my head if we lose. I'm not going to be over the moon if we win. Like I'm not going to be like, yeah, like I'll be happy. But my focus is just on the round of 16. What's your stance on the Premier League versus Conference League from here going forward?
I think I'm with you. I think Conference League is more important because that's where we're going to win a trophy if we do well in that competition. The Premier
Mm.
League it's unlikely, but you couldn't see us, getting relegated or
I don't
getting.
think so. I know Tim said we need one more win, but I just don't really see
Yeah,
it happening. I just don't, because this is with the thought of us not getting a single point from here onwards to the end of the season. I think we will. I think we will.
yeah.
So I just don't see that happening. Yeah, but confidence is going to be big though. Confidence. I don't think the players or the manager is going to look at a United game and say, "Oh, let's sit back now. We've done our job in the Conference League." So it'll be nice. The players will show up anyways, but us as fans, maybe we can just take a deep breath because it's been so negative, so tense, and maybe now look forward to games like United without looking at the table so seriously as we were before the Wolves game. So it should be a bit more calm going into
I
that
think
one.
it's I think it's also important to do well in the league, even if it is a write-off for the remainder of the season, because that helps with the Conference League and that helps with the players and form. So I'm not writing off completely. I'm just saying, there is a trophy to win in another competition, and
Yeah.
that's what you should focus on. But yeah,
Yeah. There's no harm in winning games, but the only thing I would say is, even if the league form is not great, West Ham did it like that. They just about stayed up in the year that they won the Conference League, and I think they struggled a bit more than we did, or maybe similar to us. And yeah, they still ended up winning it. So you see at times when it's like a big Conference League game or European game, the players just turn up more. It might be a mental thing, but there's still something to play for in the league as well. So the players, hopefully they haven't lost all focus on the league, because we're only 3 points off eighth, so I'm pretty sure they'll be up for that game, trust me.
yeah.
Us as fans, we can be a bit more chilled about it. Like it's not going to be now tense going into United. I'm not going to be looking at, well, I might look at West Ham's result, but I'm not going to be like,
Well, yeah.
West Ham won a game and it's all
If we
kind of
change form as well, we're looking up the table rather than down, and we might get Europe through the Premier League again. So, or for the first time. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Nat, it was great talking to you. Appreciate you coming on very late, and hopefully we'll catch up with you on Sunday.
Thanks.
Take care.
Okay.
Anything else you want to add anymore before we wrap up? We're not going to go too long. As I said, it's nearly 1 a.m. where I am, and it's 2 a.m. where you're at. But overall, look, I had smiles on my face while watching, Gussan score that goal 2-0, round of 16. It's probably the happiest I've been with Palace over the last God knows how long, because it just feels like we've been stuck in just negativity on the pitch, off the pitch, and hopefully this gives the biggest thing is cool. We're through to the round of 16. I just wanted to give a big boost to everyone involved within the club, the manager, the players, everyone. And Glazer, as Tim mentioned, admitted it. He has been speaking a lot, and he knows that he has been helping the situation. Hopefully, sticks to his word. And if we lose 2-3-0 against United, I don't want another run. I don't think he will do. But if he just keeps calm, this could be a good turning point, because when Glazer does leave, we want ideally, him to leave on a positive note, because every press conference he opens his mouth, it felt like he was just ruining his legacy. I don't know if legacy is the right word, but he's just putting a sour taste on it.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of positives to take from this game, and the momentum to take with us forward. I'm not too concerned about the Man United game. I know we want to do well in the Premier League, but I think it's good to take every game, by the opponent you're playing. And right now, Manchester United are the informed team. I don't think they've lost a game in 2026. So it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a different kind of game than we've been playing in recent weeks. So hopefully we can be prepared for that. Our defense are going to have to be a lot more on their game defensively. It's not going to be so much of them starting the moves and building up from the back. It's going to be a lot more defending probably to be done against United. So I'm glad that this has been the turning point and where we're finding the positivity, because now we've got to take on some of the bigger boys in the Premier League, and it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, let's just quickly, before we wrap up, let's actually bring up the Conference League and the teams that are through to the next round, and we can actually look at the table, the knockout phase, to see who everyone could be facing. Let me share the screen. Might as well do that quickly. Here we go. So we know who we could potentially face. Can you see the screen? Oh wait, I haven't put it. Yeah, I put it up. Palace are, so there's a silver path and there's a green path. I believe the green path means that the second leg, if you're on a green path, the second leg of ties, they got advantage, gets played at home. So I think we're going to do it the harder way. The first leg is going to be at Selhurst Park, whoever we get out of Mainz or Larnaca. But look, Fiorentina, that's going to be interesting against maybe Strasbourg or Rakow. So yeah, we could be facing.
They made it through by the skin of their teeth, didn't they, Fiorentina?
Yeah. Look, they lost 4-2, and I think in the second leg they got very lucky. It
goes to show we're not the only team that have struggled in this competition,
But if you're looking at this though, Animal, like who's not really involved in this little section that we have? That's not favourites. Like, surely if you go through here, I'm not saying we go and win it all, but you got Mainz here, you got Strasbourg, you got Fiorentina. The next two, the round of 16 and the quarterfinals. I mean, yeah, if you go beat them, you're in the semi-finals. But there's not. I'm looking at the other side. There's Rayo Vallecano. Yeah, Shakhtar Donetsk as well. Alkmaar, we already beat them, and they were very open in that game, so they suited us. But yeah, round of 16 is going to be massive, of course. Hopefully we get through there. But the quarterfinals, we're facing either one of those three teams, and I assume it's going to be Strasbourg. If we end up beating them,
Strasbourg have already beaten us this season, so we
but we're creating so many chances again.
I wouldn't mind putting one on them as well.
Yeah, we created loads of chances against Strasbourg. That was under Liam Rossini. I don't know how they are doing under Gary O'Neill now. They've got a new manager, but the guys. Yeah, it's going to be the 11th or the 12th of March. So we've got them in 3 weeks' time. Mainz or Larnaca. I think this should be confirmed tomorrow. And then 18th, 19th of March. And then after the international break, we've got potentially the quarterfinals. So yeah, I mean, in the next month, and not even a half, to be fair, a month and a bit. We'll find out. Palace, will be hopefully going through the round of 16. Yeah,
is that Lech Poznan at the top there?
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
isn't that the team that the mighty Yaroslav Jak played for? Was it
Yaroslav
Jak?
Yeah. I think so. Yeah,
Was it
yeah, yeah.
Legia?
We signed him from there, didn't we?
Yeah.
Their team, yeah, they're doing well. They beat Coops 1-0. So yeah, they've done well there. Where's Coops, by the way? Oh, are they out? Oh, they're out. Yeah, Poznan beat them.
Coops are out.
Yeah, yeah, they're out. And then the only thing I don't really understand is, look, it could be so Larnaca or Mainz could either face us or the Sigma team. So I guess this will clear up tomorrow, but there's two different paths. But for us, anyways, our path is clear. It's going to be one of these teams. So yeah, and then
Crazy
ideally,
league this has been, man. Like, I don't know.
yeah, it's wild, isn't it? It's just wild. Like the league phase, ideally, all we needed to do is go top 8. But we
I'll
didn't
be
do it. We
interested
went
to
halfway.
see. I'll be interested to see what Samson's Sport do. You know.
Yeah, they're doing well. They are doing well, and they've done well in the league phase. Look, they won 4-0,
Yeah.
5-0 aggregate. I don't know who on earth they face, with all due respect. I don't know where they're from. I don't even want to try to pronounce the name. Yeah, I was gonna try. I'm not gonna try. But they beat them 4-0. Who else got knocked down in the playoff phase? Any other team? No, Fiorentina just narrowly made it through. But Alkmaar was a bit concerned. I think it was 1-0 they lost the reverse leg, but they won 4-0 at home against Noah. So yeah, look, positive. Palace are here. That's all we wanted. Round of 16, Palace to be here. But of course, we don't want Palace to stay at round of 16. We want to go all the way through, and hopefully today's boost and the win helps us in that regards. But look, people, we're going to wrap up there. I think we might be back live tomorrow to react to the draw, so we'll see. That's going to be happening in the morning, so we'll see with that. But if you have enjoyed it, drop a like, subscribe, and I guess if you're watching this on replay, let us know, as I've said before, in the comment section down below, your thoughts on the game and who you would want in the next tie. That's it from us. Hopefully you all have a good night, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. But until next time, up the Palace.
The Palace.